It's What the Flick, everybody. Masters of Sex. Alonso, Duralde, Ben Mankiewicz. We're at episode
9,
I guess. So we missed last week, so because of Labor Day. So episodes 8 and 9, episodes that really exist together.
Pretty much, yeah. Mirror, and story of my life.
Let's take a look at a quick clip from the most recent episode.
I was seeing a married man.
And that bothered your friend. And not you.
Really, Jen, you're one of the bravest people that I know.
I never saw myself as a threat to the man's wife. Don't hold me up as an example of anything.
I do love her.
I know. She's been a wonderful friend to me.
You feel it was the only way you posed a threat if you wanted this woman's husband for yourself.
Yes.
I have never made a decision with the intention of hurting anyone.
You don't think any of this would hurt Libby? Then you're a fool.
Okay, finally, Libby gets mentioned in the hotel room.
Right.
In a substantive way.
Right, but of course, as always, because it's him, it's a lie. He says that he was just with her. Right. Which is why he can't. He won't be able to
deliver,
perform when that's not the case at all.
Right, but I think also, because the show has been, not cavalier, because they were clearly building up to it, but Virginia has managed to operate for a long time and being like, well, we're doing this thing and it's sort of for research, and Libby and I are pals, and it's not, I'm in no way going to try and break up that marriage, so I'm not really doing anything wrong, And I think clearly she's realizing now that it's not, their thing in the hotel is not operating in a vacuum, and they even mentioned, because we had the show Asterion, where they jump ahead so much in time that they keep meeting in the hotel and they haven't logged it for years now,
Right. Yeah. So the a couple things have happened. One really great sort of storytelling device to have Virginia go to the therapist on Betsy Brandt's behalf,
right,
and then end up sort of clearly telling her story. I thought the therapist was great, like such smart. Smart. Like again, to be a therapist, that kind of talk therapy in 1957, like you're ahead of the game. You're just you're smart and you sort of see what's going on. Why not refer to what was it? Either herself as I.
Oh right, yeah. Why would you say a 12-year-old girl?
A 12-year-old girl. Why don't you refer to it as you? And then just clearly, he says it's almost as if you're telling it as someone else. But even he doesn't think this can't.
Sure, right.
Can't possibly be that. So I like that, and also really very, very effective and credible and well-paced rehabilitation for me at least, and I'm sure some others, of Libby, who was a character who terrible things were happening to, but I still didn't care. Like I care conceptually. I really didn't like her, and she's the kind of person who I don't really care what happens.
She seemed to be in a lot of ways symbolizing everything that William and Virginia were moving past, like these sort of old, entrenched, ideas about things and standards that were out of date, that kind of thing. But yeah, I think she's really kind of coming into her own.
But her sort of significantly racist moments were, again, because this is how she was brought up and taught, and she hasn't been exposed. And right away, she's like, I think I was wrong on this. And she's recognizing it now. She wants to do something different. She tried very hard, legitimately, to help out in that situation, which was a totally worthy lie to tell.
Sure.
You don't see the license plate, but the black people see it. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I saw that license plate. And it's not Cora or
Robert.
No, the brother. What's
Coral.
So Coral's brother Robert, recognizing you'll get this wrong.
Yeah.
You'll be exposed. It will do more damage than good. But she still goes to help, and she's unflinching when he really challenges her with, "We need somebody to go on a sandwich run."
Right.
An expression that I suspect did not exist in 1959.
Well, and also, isn't there a diner catty corner from them in the lobby of that building?
Maybe all it is. They just need somebody. They're doing serious work.
The diner can't deliver? I mean, come on. Maybe not to core. I don't know.
Maybe they're tired of the diner. They don't want to eat at the diner anymore. Somebody needs to go to sandwich run. So I like that. And then the week before, she takes significant initiative to get the police chief to come on board on the board, which will help them get tax exempt status and save this audit, because she recognized the politics of that situation right away. I'm going to help you with your nonsense, dumb fundraiser.
The thing is, though, that it's not going to help that audit, because becoming a 501c nonprofit is not retroactive. So they're still going to have to pay taxes for all that period they were operating without being one. That's the show's kind of got that wrong, I think.
Maybe that wasn't the case in that. I get the
Who
feeling.
knows, but-
Who knows then? Also, just.
But no, you're right, but she's
your
a trooper.
relationship with your auditor was much more. That said, like political pressure can be exerted.
Sure.
Don't audit this for crying out loud. The chief of police is on their board.
Right,
that
right.
kind of thing. So.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. Libby was a trooper, and coming through, and I looked it up. The veiled prophet is still a very big thing in St. Louis.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, very much.
And
so.
it is what? Just
It's this sort of
religious.
it's kind of a like a Mardi Gras-ish sort of thing, like with the cruise. It's there's this tradition. He comes out and there's like 4 debutantes who are chosen every year to be his court, and it's a whole blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
Yeah, pretty much. I like that they have given Betsy Brandt was Barbara, is that the character?
Mm-hmm.
Barbara has this really, really complicated backstory of abuse, and that they are not going to sort of TV fix it in a matter of an episode or two, because now she's gone through what I think probably a stage a lot of abuse victims have gone through, oh, maybe it was my fault, maybe I brought it upon myself, and it was me and I, and that's a stage I think that a lot of people who are survivors of that kind of abuse go through to then get to the next part of realizing, no, wait, actually, I was an innocent victim of all this.
Right, and maybe they're both innocent victims, because maybe the brother's story is right. We don't even know how old the brother is. I mean, she was 12.
Right.
Maybe he was 13. Maybe he was 12.
Yeah,
even if he was 14, it's what it is a horrible, horrible situation that these are children.
Yeah, but they're at least obviously going to let it breathe a little and have it be a developing thing. Meanwhile, you have Lester's issues, which is they're drawing them a little too parallel with Barbara. I mean, down to the moment where he sees Barbara crying in the room and takes the camera out, and it's sort of like I was almost like, wait, are they trying to put those two together? Like that seemed weird. But I think he's going to have his own interesting stuff and sort of not wanting to be just another guinea pig for the doctor to fix.
I liked him taking the camera. I saw that scene differently. I totally see what you're saying. But what I liked about that was Virginia asks him not to shoot it. He's there watching her. And you think in TV, I thought, oh, he's going to shoot it anyway, and Virginia's going to yell at him, but not only does he not shoot it,
he sees himself in her,
and he recognizes I shouldn't be here. Like, I'm not supposed to watch this.
Right.
This is private, and not only am I going to leave, I'm going to take the camera.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me, and I liked that. I think you're right. I think I didn't pick up that he saw something in her, but
and I do like the idea they brought up now, where Virginia is perceiving that there needs to be a more holistic approach to sexuality, that it's not just about the physical, whereas that's all masters can see. It's all like, if I can just get that vagina to open, then I've done my bit, and the rest is up to her. That there are a lot of elements at play here, that it's as much about the psyche as it is about the body.
And I suspect Masters is about to learn that with Virginia,
himself. Well, yeah,
with himself. So he makes that big admission, which you only admit to somebody who you care deeply about.
He almost cops to the brother, which is a whole other thing we have to talk about his impotence or his infertility, and then doesn't.
Yeah, and the scenes with the brother. I mean, he just the horrible things this guy does on a regular basis. I mean, walking out of that meeting, the presumption that it is all about him.
Yeah.
Because the brother
that it
used
can't
a
possibly
baseball.
also happen to the brother.
And of course, the brothers used baseball, and he was like, "Oh, you just," he said, "You remember it was me in football when I, fumbled out on 4th and 3rd play, and I could have won the game or whatever it was." And the brother's like, "No, dude, yeah." And then it happened to me 4 years later.
Yeah.
And so he's so full of himself and so not there for his brother. It's a weakness of yours, he said. And that brother is just prepared to, I think the brother is sober. I don't think the brother's weak and gonna
relapse.
I don't think he's gonna relapse, because he just sort of took those punches from Bill consistently, and he seemed to get through at the end. Maybe a little bit. And then,
it's so weird, because that first episode, they're so vague about the connection. I was always thinking, were they lovers in college? It was there was that weird intimacy thing. I totally thought that's where they were going to go.
I thought
it was very House of Cards.
I said they can't go here because they already Bo Bridges that.
Oh right,
I'm like, we can't. What are we going to do that again? There can't be 2 gays.
Who would have thought?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So that was a very effective reveal. I did not see that coming. Did you watch Smash, by the way?
No.
Because that actor was one of the key players on that
was
show.
he? Yeah. He's good. His AA speech was a little too acty.
But I think that he was giving a speech.
He was giving a speech.
He'd actually prepared it, and so I'm sure
it was for his brother.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, obviously, as always, just this hard to find a show with better performances and better writing. It's different than these other shows.
Some of Michael Sheen's best work these last couple episodes, I think, really just because so much of his thing is about all of Masters' walls, which is an interesting thing for an actor to do, but he really got to kind of break some of them down and reveal some insecurities and some vulnerabilities, and I think he's just dynamite on this.
Good stuff. As always, thanks for watching, everybody.